Hi everybody, welcome back to Harmon Speaks. This is your old pal Gary, and we're going to be talking to Miss Lydia Weeks tonight, who is going to talk to us a little bit more about getting active and getting out in the world. So, hi Lydia.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And tell us a little bit about you, Lydia.
Yeah, so I am a Tennessee native. I have a few different jobs, one of which being I'm the program coordinator for Catalyst Sports. We are a nonprofit organization based out of Atlanta. We're very fortunate to have a few chapters right now, and I help run the Knoxville chapter. Right now we're doing 3 different sports. We have rock climbing, kayaking, and mountain biking. Yeah. Biking is our newest operation.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Great. Tell me what the program coordinator does.
Yeah, so my job is I make sure that we have dates for all of our events and everything that goes along with putting on an event. So I make sure that I have enough volunteers, I have the right amount of participants for the amount of equipment we have for the day, and then I also coordinate with where we are located. So for an example, we work with River Sports very closely, and they have donated their space to us, which we're very thankful for. But a big part of that is I have to coordinate with the climbing gym manager to make sure that they don't have a private event for that weekend. So we kind of work that way. And safety also. I help train the volunteers to make sure that we can provide the best event for the people coming and hanging out with us.
How do you train your volunteers? What do you do?
Yeah, so it's different for each sport. We do one for paddling, for an example. First, we train them on all the equipment that we have. What an adaptive kayak looks like is just a normal kayak, tends to be a little bit bigger, and then we have adaptive pieces for it. So if someone doesn't have really good trunk control, we have things that can secure them better in the seat. If they have a little bit of balance issues, we have outriggers. So definitely the first piece of training is going over all of those pieces and how to put them together and put them and secure them safely, so they're good to go with that. And then we talk a lot about etiquette, how to talk and treat someone with a disability, because we want to make this the most humanized, fun experience you can. We don't want anyone to feel, awkward if they make a mistake, or how to quickly correct something. So that way, just everyone can have a lot of fun. And then we also go over water safety. So we have never had anyone fall out, but in the rare case that would happen, we teach them about water rescues and the quickest way to get to shore if we hear lightning or anything else like that, and kind of the warning signs of a storm coming in and everything.
Tell me why you feel sports are important for people with disabilities.
I think it's important because I think that as humans we crave community, and we want a tribe, and we want to be around like-minded people. And so I think that, that's a big reason why anybody joins sports teams or anything like that. And I think that it's important for people with disabilities to come out, because we're in a day and age where we have the equipment to help them rock climb or help them kayak, where, maybe 50 years ago that wasn't an option. And so I think it's really cool that with Catalyst Sports, we have the volunteers and the equipment to help anyone with physical or cognitive disability get active. Exercising releases the happy hormones, so.
Along with community, do you see that it helps people on a more spiritual level? I don't mean to get religious, but more of
I think
healthy.
I think that overcoming fears and creating goals and everything, that can be very spiritual for someone, because I know that a lot of people will think a higher power for where they're at in life, and being able to rock climb or be in nature or anything like that, I definitely think it can be beneficial to your spiritual and your mental and everything.
It's very nice. I like that. How many people do you have in Catalyst Sports now?
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it would be hard to. I know that we have over 30 trained volunteers.
Okay.
And that can look different for every sport because some people specifically like to go kayaking, or I have like a really good rock climbing community that likes to help us out with that.
Okay.
But I would say at least 30 trained volunteers, if not more. And then we have a ton of athletes right now too, which, there's an ebb and a flow to that because people get busy.
Right.
But yeah, we also do have like a really good athlete base too.
Okay, that's really nice. That's good. So I've got a kayak question.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if you saw the episode where Leslie was on the show.
Uh-huh.
I haven't forgotten.
Yeah.
Anyway, she has threatened my life if I don't try kayaking.
Oh no.
And I don't think she means it, but she has kind of a mean look in her eyes, so I'm not real sure.
Oh, Leslie's the nicest. I don't think I've ever heard her say a mean word
I'm
about
just kidding. I'm just teasing Leslie.
Yeah.
But I'm afraid she's going to drag me to a canoe at some point, or a kayak.
Yeah. Kind of get in the van, we're taking to the lake scenario.
Yeah, and my kids will be, bye, Daddy, and it'll be sad. But, no, they'll say, thank God. And what worries me about it is getting into the kayak.
Yeah.
Because I'm not agile, and I'm not young.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to agree with that, but that's okay. But getting into the kayak is my biggest fear, honestly. So how does a guy with my limited abilities get into a kayak and then get into the water? Because if I have to step on the kayak in water, I'm scared of that.
Understand. So we got really lucky with that. With, this again goes back to our volunteers and then the equipment we have.
Okay.
We have a adaptive boat ramp that we paddle with out of the cove. And essentially, I would say that it's like this with the platform on either side. And then the kayak goes in the middle. Okay. And then there's a bar that comes up and around. Okay. And so to do the transfer, we have a few different options. We would start with your better side, whichever side you feel more confident on, and then have you grab the bar. And then I would have one volunteer to stabilize the back of the kayak and then one volunteer to stabilize the front. So you don't really feel like you're on water yet. It's completely secure because of the outriggers and the platform and then the volunteers. And so what we do is help you, we would get either a volunteer to help you with your trunk and everything so that way you could slowly ease your way into the kayak. Or we do have a piece of equipment that helps, and it's more geared for people who are in wheelchairs because it's kind of a two-step process. So they would be in their chair and then it's like a bench, and then the piece of the bench where they're sitting can actually come out. So they're in their chair, they sit on the bench, and then whenever they're ready they lift up with their arms, and then we take the bench away, and then they're right in the kayak.
Very nice. Very nice. I'm afraid that takes a little of the fear out of it for me.
Good.
I'm going to have to do this, aren't I?
Yeah, I think so.
The kayak season's over for the year, though, right?
It is, yeah. I know, you dodged a bullet there.
Yeah, I did. But next year, when do you start?
Next year we start just as soon as the water heats up, really. So probably around April or May. I'm a little bit more comfortable with May, just so it's more pleasant. But May to September is typically when we, the beginning of September is when we end.
Tell me about the mountain biking. We've covered the other two. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so mountain biking is brand new. We have partnered with Legacy Parks. They have been amazing in providing us with the adaptive bikes. We have 6 bikes right now, as well as adaptive biking trails. And so we are also trying to do that once a month. Our bikes are also being rented out at the Knoxville Adventure Collective. So if people would like to ride solo, they can. And a little bit about like the Knoxville Adventure Collective, because I was unfamiliar with them until this year. It's kind of like a mecca for outdoor equipment and everything. So if you want to go biking and don't have a bike, they'll rent you that. They rent kayaks. and it's right on Volunteer Landing, so people can rent one of our bikes or any of the other bikes and just go straight out to the Greenway.
Oh, okay.
Right now, to kind of acclimate our athletes to the adaptive bikes, we've been doing a little bit more on the Greenway, just because it is, you know, a more level surface and it's a little bit less scary than going up mountains and mountain biking and everything. But it's still, you know, we mountain bike out of Sharps Ridge.
Okay.
That's going to be the adaptive trail that's built right now.
Okay.
And what makes it adaptive is it's going to be wide enough for an adaptive bike, because they are going to be, you know, a little bit wider, obviously, than just a two-wheel bike. So that's really cool.
Now, you were telling me earlier that a little bit about what you get from doing this. Tell us a little bit about that now, if you don't mind.
I get so much out of doing Catalyst. I started doing it in college and everything when I was short-haired in braces. But before that, I would spend summers with my aunt who had MS. And I just, like, I love taking care of her and making, you know, her feel loved and supported and everything else like that, just in the little ways that I could. And then I found Catalyst Sports, and I'm a rock climber, so that's kind of the first sport I got into. And being able to help people with that was huge for me, because, you know, it's crazy helping people find goals for themselves and accomplish something that maybe they never thought they were going to be able to.
That's great. That's great. Do you get a lot of people who come to this and stick around for a long time?
Yeah, absolutely. The level of care and experience and everything does translate to wanting to come back and, you know, climbing more, biking more and everything. Because I'm not sure if there's another organization that really does that specific recreational sport in Knoxville.
Right. Now, you're still doing the rock climbing this time of year. Are you still doing biking as well?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, so we have our next mountain biking clinic is going to be October 30th. And then we're actually doing a fundraiser pint night at the Adventure Collective on, I believe it's the 23rd.
Okay.
At 5 o'clock.
Okay, great. So there's still opportunities to do that. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, I really appreciate you being with us and talking to us about this. This is our third show where we've talked about Catalyst Sports. And that is because even though I don't consider myself an athlete, I do love the community aspect of what you do. And I love the athletic part of it as well. I'm just more of a pie eater than I am a mountain biker. But that's today. Tomorrow I may be an athlete. You never know. So,
and you know, next summer you're going to be a kayaker.
Yeah, I do. Well, I appreciate you being here. Thank you for what you shared. And thank you for joining Harmon Speaks today. Please remember that we are trying to grow this channel. We're trying to make this have more impact on our community. So please keep us alive by liking the videos, watching the videos, and subscribing. We need those help to stay in this game. So please help us out any way you can. Thank you. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.